Hi, my name is Linda Cirulli-Burton, and welcome to this channel named Above the Battleground, ACIM. So today the topic that I wanted to handle for myself was how to listen to other people without being judgmental. I've shared in previous videos that I have been prone to being a very judgy person. And it's really something that I am consciously working on. So thank you for joining me. So Above the Battleground is based on the teachings of a spiritual self-study path known as A Course in Miracles. I've been a student of A Course in Miracles since 1992, and over this past year have felt compelled to share some of the lessons and insights so that they would go deeper within me and hopefully be of some benefit to you. So I wanted to tell you that sometimes, when I'm thinking of a topic, something will have happened in my life, and then I'll find a reading or hear a video, watch a video, hear a video that makes me laugh. And oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. So what happened was that I often will go and read through the Q&A that was published by Ken Wapnick and the Foundation for A Course in Miracles. And if I'm not mistaken, sometimes I get the number crazy, 1348, 1348 or 78 questions that students asked and that there were responses to. So I happened to run across a question that just really made me smile, because a man was writing about how there was, in his workplace, there were so many people who talked judgmentally about other people, like nonstop, just judging. And it could be politics, of course. It could be religion, lifestyles. Anything and everything is up for grabs when people are in that space. So anyway, the question was basically, how do I handle this? I don't want to come across like I'm preaching, but basically, I don't want to be like I'm supporting them in their judgments. And it really reminded me of one of the earlier videos that I produced, which was, what should I say? What should I do? Right? So anyway, let me share with you. Let me get myself. All right. So one of the amusing dilemmas that hit spiritual seekers is judging people that we perceive are judgmental, right? Ooh, it's, they've got words for it now, virtue signaling. I say it's holier than thou. That's an oldie, a golden oldie, but it speaks volumes, okay? Now, ACM tells us that when we are judging, we are very much in our ego wrong minds. So I've said often, and you are very well aware, that we carry in our unconscious a tremendous amount of guilt. And the guilt stemming from our perception that the sonship, we were one with God the Father, and we made a decision to break away. So the breaking away was the sin. Then we felt enormously guilty about robbing from God, and then fearful of the retaliation that an angry God would have. But once again, the truth is that we never left, okay? But it doesn't mean that in the ego mind, the perception that we have something to hide, that exists, okay? So there's no shortage of targets. When I want to get rid of the guilt with which I am most likely not in touch with, then going ahead and putting it out there on other people, seeing them at fault. Really, the ultimate response is that I am innocent, you are guilty. Therefore, I don't deserve any punishment. you do. To the ego mind, finding these targets represents salvation. Now, this is what I find really fascinating about the response and how it is exactly in tune with the Course in Miracles, of course. And that is, it's not our job. It's not our job to undo your judgments. Okay, that's not our job. That would ensure that you and I are separate individual identities out there in this crazy world. In our minds, remember, everything is in our minds. We turn away from the fear that miscreated the judgment so that we would feel at peace, okay? Now, when we do that, when we turn away from the fear, what it really means is that we are going above the battleground and asking Jesus and the Holy Spirit, or Jesus or the Holy Spirit, to help us respond from compassion and kindness. And I think many of us have heard the phrase, be kind, for everyone we meet is fighting a hard battle. So what would it mean to respond with compassion and kindness? Well, remember, this isn't what we say or what we do. When we go to the Holy Spirit and ask for guidance, whatever happens after that would be reflective of the love and sense of union that resides within the part of our mind where the voice for God, the Holy Spirit, exists. So when I go there, it could be maybe a surprise at what I say. I might even chime in and agree with something that you said, even if overall I was feeling very condemning. I might agree. I might even nod my head. I might say something like, I understand how you can feel that way. I might even do that. I might just listen and emit the circumstances of like a safe place. I don't really know, because different situations, different things might happen in the world of form, right? So the fascinating thing is that in our minds, okay, we move to the content of love, compassion. The form that it takes is going to vary. It's just going to be what's inspired by the Holy Spirit. It could be nothing and it could be something. So a great response to what should I say or what should I do. So I wanted to say that very recently, and this is often what will happen with me, there will be an occurrence, an event in my life that stimulates thought that then helps me find the topic. And in this case, very recently, I had lunch with a friend who is significantly younger than myself. And I will tell you that I have often told this young lady that if I had ever had a daughter, I would want her to be just like you. So anyway, we met for lunch, and I'm telling you, she is a wild child. I mean, you could call me Miss Conservative overall, Miss Conservative. But this girl, she's a wild child. So I listened to her adventures with multiple admirers, and I got caught up in it. It was really crazy. Well, what was funny was that after lunch was over, she said to me rather ruefully, Linda, I don't think you're going to want me as your daughter anymore after the information I shared at lunch. And I laughed. I said, oh gosh, I love you. But anyway, when I got home and I found that Q&A, I text her using words from the response. And I just wanted to share with you what I wrote. Just so you know, My love and acceptance of you will not waver no matter ... You're still and always my ideal daughter. And I have to just say that my love for my wild child pretend daughter is enormous. And, and I am delighted that I could listen to her without being judgmental, without wanting to change her, without wanting to save her, without. I mean, I think I laughed a lot. So anyway, I'm making progress here and there, little bits, big bits, but I am making progress. So learning to listen without judgment is going to be a real biggie for me. So thank you for letting me share with you.